Some cases are solved within days. Others take years. But a few have never been solved at all. No suspect. No motive. No answers. Today we are going inside 5 of the most chilling unsolved cases in American history. Case 1, the Zodiac Killer. It is 1968. Northern California. A killer is hunting couples in parked cars at night. He attacks in remote areas and vanishes without a trace. But what makes him different from every other killer is simple. He wants to be famous. He begins sending taunting letters to San Francisco newspapers. Letters filled with coded ciphers. Letters that promised to reveal his identity if someone could crack the code. He signs every letter with a circle and a cross. Like a gunsight. He calls himself the Zodiac. Over the next several years, the Zodiac claims to have killed 37 people. Police confirmed at least 5 murders. He mocked detectives. He sent a piece of a victim's shirt to prove he was real. One suspect named Arthur Lee Allen matched the handwriting, wore the Zodiac symbol on his watch, and was identified by a survivor. But there was never enough evidence to charge him. Allen died in 1992. The case remains unsolved to this day. Case 2, D.B. Cooper. November 24, 1971. Portland, Oregon. A man buys a one-way plane ticket under the name Dan Cooper. He is calm, well-dressed, wearing a dark suit and sunglasses. He orders a bourbon, lights a cigarette, and waits. Then somewhere over Washington State he hands a flight attendant a note. She ignores it. He leans over and whispers, "Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb." Inside his briefcase were wires, red cylinders, and a battery. He demands $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. The passengers are released. The money is loaded. The plane takes off again. Somewhere over the dark forests of southwest Washington he straps on a parachute, opens the rear door of the aircraft, and jumps into the night. He was never seen again. It remains the only unsolved hijacking in American aviation history. Case 3, the Black Dahlia, Los Angeles, 1947. A city of dreams and movie stars and ambition. But on the morning of January 15th, a woman walking through a vacant lot in Leimert Park stops dead in her tracks. She thinks she sees a store mannequin lying in the grass. She looks closer. It is not a mannequin. The victim was 22-year-old Elizabeth Short, an aspiring actress who had moved to Los Angeles chasing Hollywood dreams. Newspapers called her the Black Dahlia. Within days the LAPD was flooded with tips. Over 150 people actually confessed to the murder. Every single confession turned out to be false. Elizabeth Short's murder remains one of the most famous unsolved cases in American history, 77 years later, still without an answer. Case 4, the Sodder Children. Christmas Eve 1945. Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodder family goes to bed after celebrating the holiday. Sometime after midnight the house catches fire. George and Jenny escape with 4 of their children. But 5 of their kids, Marianne, Louis, Jenny, Martha, and Betty, never make it out. Firefighters find no remains. No bones. No trace of the 5 children in the ashes. George Sodder then makes a horrifying realization. The night before the fire a stranger had visited the house asking strange questions. The phone line had been cut. The ladder kept against the house had been moved. And the truck George tried to use to reach the upstairs windows mysteriously would not start. George and Jenny refused to believe their children died in that fire. They hired private investigators. They put up a billboard on the highway with their children's faces for over 2 decades. In 1967, 22 years later, Jenny received a photograph in the mail. No return address. No letter. Just a photo of a young man who looked exactly like Louis Sauter would have looked all grown up. The case was never solved. George died in 1969, still searching. Jenny kept the billboard up until she died in 1989. Case 5. The Children. WHO changed America. Before the 1970s, America had no centralized system to track missing children. No national database. No Amber Alerts. No coordination between states. Children simply vanished. And sometimes nobody even noticed for days. The heartbreak of cases like these directly inspired the creation of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, changing how an entire nation protects its most vulnerable forever. Outro. 5 cases. 5 mysteries. The Zodiac who mocked an entire city and was never caught. D.B. Cooper who jumped from a plane and ceased to exist. The Black Dahlia whose killer walked free in the City of Dreams. The Sauter children who may or may not have died in that fire. And the cases that changed how a nation protects its children. These are not just cold cases. They are reminders that sometimes the truth does not come out. That sometimes questions outlive the people asking them. If this video unsettled you, good. Because these stories deserve to unsettle us. Like and subscribe for more stories like this. Comment below, which case disturbed you the most.